Hey.
Hey, Cricks, you're back. Yeah, Jet, that's one of the scariest things I think I've ever seen, mate. And my face does not add to that at all. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Geekish Khan, where we're going to talk about one of my favourite topics, horror films. Right, let's go around the table. Let's make sure everybody's okay. Cricks, how are you? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, sorry, the line's a bit bad, but yeah, can push through near house
worry.
now. So yeah.
Excellent. No worries. Don't worry. You
Let's
have
rock.
issues with connection. Let's do this. Jet the Geek, how you doing, buddy? Are you well?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And I hope everybody's
Yeah,
going
sorry.
to. It's a hump day, so I hope the rest of the week is going to be great for you guys.
Absolutely. And the one and the only Raft Builder is in the
Please.
house. Raft Builder, how you doing, buddy?
I'm still pissed, man. Still, I just got beat today by my one of my good friends, Phil. So I'm still sore about that. But this podcast is gonna cheer me up. That's for sure.
But just be clear, you got beat playing a sport rather than beat in any other way, right? He didn't kind of bend you over his knee and beat you that way, right?
You will. Yeah, he beat me at golf. That was it.
There you go. Perfect. All right, guys. So, audience members, what we're going to do today is I'm going to plead the fifth on this because I am not a horror fan. I have a big issue when it comes to horrors that my brain can't decide what's real and what isn't. So much so that when I was younger, I couldn't watch the Michael Jackson video Thriller in the night time. I had to watch it with my cousins during the day. Seriously. Anyway, so this is going to be interesting. So the guys have gone away and come up with their best horror films and also why they're the favorite horror films. And we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to go around each individual and they're going to mention one horror. So I think let's start with Jet the Geek. Jet, where are you going, mate? What's your first horror? Oh, I'm crapping it.
What? Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. That's because when I watched that, I was terrified. I was petrified and going to sleep and dream because of what's going to happen. And there's somebody out there in your dream that's going to hunt you down and kill you, and you're going to die in real life. And there's a bird creature with claws. So yeah, and the way that the character of Johnny Depp died with all this blood in the ceiling, is like, oh shit! I slept with my brother in his room that time. So that's really scary for me. It's like I did sleep well for like a week or so.
So Nightmare on Elm Street is the crux of my horror challenges, right? That's where it all stems from. And the reason being, when I was younger, one of my friends told me the story that they'd watched the film, right? And then they'd gone to bed. And for some reason, to this day, I don't know how true it is, right? But within their bedroom, they'd got a poster of Freddy Krueger. and that poster had fallen off during the night with it.
Oh no.
Freddy's face right there, and I'm like, what? So yeah, I blame Nightmare on Elm Street. But
I was afraid of any like sharp objects that time at night, or even the electric fan, the blades that's spinning slowly. It creeped me out because the shadow that it would cast on the wall, when it's spinning slowly, like I couldn't sleep. I had to sleep with my brothers then. I made sure that I was with my brothers.
At least it's not just me. Cool. Thanks, yeah. Cricks, I know you're getting some connection challenges, so let's come to you next. What's your film?
Poltergeist, the 1980s one.
Mhm.
The original.
Yeah, the original. it's very creepy because first of all you'll realize that that movie is cursed. A lot of cast members died after filming that movie, and at the same time when I was younger I was really afraid of tombs and anything that has a headstone on it, because you might feel that it will come out of the floor of your house, and then the corpses will come out like wow, there you go. And then the reason why it traumatized me because when you realize that, well, the TV will turn on and then someone will move objects without your permission, that's really scary for me. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's really scary because when I was younger I was afraid to um we call it to peek at the bottom of our beds because there might be ghosts there. And at the same time we were watching there's this TV show here in the Philippines, the Magandang Gabi Bayan. I in the 90s.
With
It
Noli De Castro.
Yeah, yeah. Paul, you should check it out. Yeah, it's kind of creepy, and the reason why I hate cemeteries, I hate anything or any women wearing white. It reminds me of those ghosts. So yeah, I'm not really a horror movie fan, but this really creeps me out. Poltergeist, and then plus match it with the MGB films, and then you're not gonna look under your bed, and you're gonna make sure that the lights are turned on when you sleep. So yeah, Poltergeist, guys.
Actually, Poltergeist is on my list. I've only got a list of two, but Poltergeist is one of the films that I have watched like that through my fingers.
Nice.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. Let's come
Nice.
to the raft builder next. This I'm looking forward to, man.
Mine is a little bit of a recent one. 2019's remake of Cats. That shit, that
Oh
shit was
no, Taylor Swift was there.
that gave me nightmares. Like
No,
there
Judy
were these
Dench.
cats
Judy
walking
Dench.
around with like really tight suits singing. That that movie might as well should have been a horror movie. That thing was terrible. Now, yeah. By the way, that should make everyone's horror movie list.
James Corden doesn't need to put on any
No,
like
any cat
no
he's
one
suit.
needs
already a
to
big
put
Uh,
on those
pussy.
outfits.
Hey.
No, you could
Taylor
be
Swift was there, guys. Oh my god.
Gandhi could
You're
have been a part of that movie, and it wouldn't have been saved. There was no saving that movie. I don't know. This was I think like this might have been like '05 or '06, but the title of the movie was The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
oh
Oh
my god,
That
yeah.
yeah.
that
Oh.
one really did a number on me.
That's scary.
You should do the research. It was, first of all, it was a true story, so it
Mhm.
wasn't like The Ring. I mean, The Ring was scary, but I watched it with like some friends. We shut off the lights. We had like the
Mhm.
phone right next to us, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, this is stupid. A videotape that kills you. But like the Exorcism of Emily Rose, that was the devil, and it was real, and it was documented, and it was a court case, and they had the audio
Mhm.
tapes,
Mhm.
and I listened to the audio tapes, and I did the research, and I read through the material, and it was messed up, man. It happened for real, and it's based out of a true story, and yeah, I don't. Yeah, depends on where you are on the faith scale, but kind of like the impetus of the movie was like this had to happen so I could get the message of spirituality out, and so it was like really did a number. I've attempted to watch it maybe 10 times. I've only really seen it like from start to finish twice, and
Really?
yeah, dude, and I had to watch it at daytime only because it really messes up with your head. Like,
It does. It does.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a scene in the movie where the lawyer keeps waking up at 3 a.m., which
Mhm.
apparently is like a symbol of like you being visited by the devil because it's like the reverse of 3 p.m., like salvation hours,
Mhm.
like witching hour. And like she was like, what were the signs? I could smell sulfur in the air, and the priest was like, "That's it. He's been paying you a visit." And I remember, like, after I saw that movie, I like woke up at
Yeah,
2:58. I'm like, no! Why did I wake up at 2:58? And I was like, yeah. So for a while, that thing did a number on me. Not because of the monsters or jump scares. It really didn't have a whole lot of that. But the fact that it happened for real and it was documented, I heard the audio tapes, and I
Mhm.
read some of the court tests. It's pretty heavy stuff, and it stayed with me for. It's still, I think, with me for a number of years. So
Epi,
check it out, Paul.
are those the ones that scare you the most? The ones that are based on real life versus the Freddy Kruegers of the world? You know, the ones where there's a lot of gore in. Is it the real life ones
Yeah, yeah.
or there's an element of truth in it?
It's just if there's an element of truth, and it's not super fantastic, and it actually happened, or it's. I'll get through my other stuff on the list, but there's kind of like a common theme on like my horror movies. Just like kind of sticks in your brain. Like the
Okay.
Freddy Krueger thing, it was great, right? I absolutely love that, but it also had some really good R-rated like make-out scenes. So that was like, it's a bonus. It's not a horror movie. This is pretty good.
This is
But
pretty good.
yeah, I mean, there was none of that at Exorcism of Emily Rose. It was all just like heavy, heavy stuff you carry with you for a while.
So DM, our winner from last week's show, has Facebooked this post, kind of along the lines of what you're saying there, Epi. DM said, Conjuring 1 and 2 are the best movies for me because it's based on a true story. So,
Yeah.
interesting, right? Okay, thanks, buddy. Right, Crix looks like she's back with hopefully a better connection. There she is in all her glory. Crix, go for it. What's your second film on the list? If she can come off mute.
We can hear you, Kicks.
Sorry.
There we go.
Can you hear
No,
me
it's
now?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
second
on
one
mute.
will be yeah, I was. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Second one will be The Sixth Sense. I know it's not that scary, but M. Night Shyamalan really wrecked my childhood, especially when it comes to ghosts. Yeah, first of all, you'll never realize that it's a ghost story when Haley Joel Osment starts seeing things. And when I was younger, I was really traumatized. When I look back, you'll see ghosts, especially when the part when he saw the ghost of Misha Barton under the bed. Oh my god, I really hate looking under the bed when I was younger because of that. And also, in line of M. Night Shyamalan's movies, you can also count Signs on there. The creepy video of the alien. I think you remember the scene where they show the small side of the aliens there. So going back to the Sixth Sense, you'll never realize, or I was not really expecting the plot that Bruce Willis was the one who is the ghost there, and it really came into my mind that I see dead people is not a joke because I I was able to see one when I was younger, so that really came into my mind and really scared the hell out of me. So there, Sixth Sense.
Crix, I
Yeah,
feel
that
you're
was a
using this.
scary one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel you're using this as a bit of a therapy session, which is fine. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah,
No,
Get,
childhood
get
trauma.
Tyler
the
Trauma. Perfect.
the worst part of that film is that you realize that the character of Bruce Willis is already dead and he's still working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
I
And
think
someone
I
was
think
interacting with him, so that's
Yeah,
weird,
he was
right?
still working. He was still doing his 9 to 5 job.
I
He's
think that'll be
already
all. I
dead.
think that'll be all of us, right? When we pass, we'll still be working, right? We don't stop working. Right?
We'll never realize that we're dead. Yeah.
I'm more worried. I'm more worried that when I do go, they don't even miss me, right? Actually, what has he been doing here for the past 10 years? Yeah, fair enough. There you go. Cool. Thanks, Crix. Right, Jack the Geek, you're next, buddy.
That would be The Exorcist. That
Oh.
really that messed me up with the one with Linda Blair. It's when her head started spinning, and Paul, okay?
I've got a story. You tell your story, then I've got an Exorcist related story.
And
Oh no, I thought I'd
I
gotten over
swear,
this. Man,
and
Jack, you're killing me, dude. Go for it.
and the one when she's walking, backwards with all his force and down the stairs. We had the flight of stairs then. It's made of wood, and I would watch I would watch TV at night, and then all of a sudden I would hear like footsteps because I would hear the footsteps from probably the other room. The first thing that would come into my head was Linda Blair coming down the stairs.
Oh no.
I tell you, I'm gonna switch on all the lights and say, "Who's there?" So that really, I wouldn't. Every time that I would hear something going down the stairs at night, it really freaks me out. It freaks me out.
Man, so you're bringing back some really bad memories for me, Jack. I thought we were friends. So when I was in college, so we went to college, right? And it was the time when, so it's a little bit different than it is from today, right? There was no social media or anything like that. So we got there. Well, I got there, and the friends I made, they were like, right, we're going to have a horror film night. And I was like, this is such a bad idea for me. But I said, look, I'm not a horror fan, so can we do something about it? And they went, yeah, we'll have it during the day. That was the only concession they made for me, right? They'll have it during the day rather than the nighttime, right? The first film they start with is The Exorcist, right? And it's the opening clip where, I don't know if you remember, right? But there's this sudden shot of this bloody skull or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So my friends, so-called friends, paused it for me at that moment of time, and I legged it out of the room. That was it. I was gone. I hated it. I hated it with a passion. I was
Dude,
properly scared.
something in your childhood messed you up, dude. Something triggered you to not just have a tolerance for horror movies.
I think I'm surprised you're only realizing now that something in my childhood has messed me up, mate. In general. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, we were never a big horror film family, right? My mum, she would never sit us down and say, right, let's watch Nightmare on Elm Street. We would rather go and watch. This is how I'm going to give my age away here, but we'd rather go. My mum would take us to watch Grease, the original Grease, in the cinema, right? Back to the Future, and those type of films, rather than kind of scare us. But listen, it's the same for my brothers. My brothers are not big horror fans, so.
When you used to go to the cinema, was it already colored cinema, Paul?
I knew that.
Oh no, you're
It was-
mean.
It was silent.
Was
It was silent,
moving
mate. Harold
picture?
Lloyd.
Are you still allowed to smoke inside the cinema then?
You could only get in if you were smoking, and you could only you had to smoke the Woodbines. For those guys out there, remember Woodbines. Anyway,
No,
cool.
Exorcist is good, man. I mean, I don't know if you remember the dialogue of Linda Blair when they were trying to she was saying some heavy shit, dude. She was saying some stuff like Barry, our friend Barry would say after 12 drinks in, it's just the way her voice.
Yeah, and she would say it in a very baritone voice.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that would. Oof. And they,
then
for a
with
while
her
there, she was saying a bunch of gibberish, you couldn't make out what she was saying. There's an urban legend that when if you backmask or play it backward, it actually becomes coherent. And she was in this spell where she was just saying all of these things in gibberish that to her didn't make sense. And when they played it back, she was saying some pretty nasty stuff. So yeah, man, I can't blame you for The Exorcist. That's the stuff of nightmares.
And you know what? The funny part, when it was remastered in 2000, I bought a copy, and it is the
No.
director's cut.
Yeah.
I have to, Epi, I know you've called me out to say there was something in my child that messed me up why I can't watch horrors, right? But I'm going to flip the question around. Is it normal to watch horrors?
I think I think you want to. Well, at least for me, because I'm a big scaredy cat with these things. I like to know where my limits are. Like I want to get to that point,
Right.
like because I remember seeing The Sixth Sense alone in the cinema because I was
Yeah,
like
me too. Yeah. Hmm.
I forgot what I was doing. I was like waiting for some friends and they were late. So I was like, I'm just gonna catch this movie, and I watched it. I remember halfway through, I was like, this is some sick stuff, man. I can't take it anymore. I gotta get out. But then I was like, I paid whatever I did, like 100 pesos to get in. I was like, that's a waste of money. Let's just like power through. So I just want to find out how far I can take it until I can't really take it anymore.
That's perfect, mate. I like that analogy, and I think knowing you as well as I do, I think you can replicate that throughout your entire, most of your life, particularly when you can consider the changes that you made. When you were big happy to where you are now, as in half happy, right? That you really have pushed yourselves to the limit, mate. So great stuff. I love that. I love that analogy. Right. On that note, ringmaster, raft builder,
Right.
it's you.
Sixth Sense is definitely up there. Exorcist definitely up there. Um, this was a new one. It's a movie called Hereditary, and it's got the mom from Sixth Sense, Toni Collette. And again, it's not fantastic at all. There's no like monsters. There's no videotapes that are trying to kill you. There's none of there's. It's just a family that's struggling with a recent death, but the way it's shot and the series of events that happen, it's brutal, man. I saw it with my 15-year-old. There's a good 20 minutes of the movie that I saw like at the corner. At the corner, I just couldn't look. And the way
It's the same director as the Midsummer one, right? Is it the
yes,
same one?
yeah,
Yeah, oh, Midsummer. Yeah.
that dude is a genius. Midsummer is another one because Midsummer falls.
Amazing.
The whole movie almost happens like summertime in Sweden or Iceland or Finland. So it's all well lit, but the tension that he's able to create with the music and the camera
Hmm.
angles, and you feel like you're alone, you feel like you're gonna get jumped. It's not fantastic at all. There's no like dragons or anything. That guy is a genius. So he did Midsummer. He did Hereditary. Hereditary was the first one that I saw, and yeah, that again, it's one of those things that kind of stay with you. You will never drive with the windows down ever again after you see that movie.
Oh. So
Spoiler.
I've heard about Midsummer and Hereditary, and I have purposely given them a wide berth. Midsummer gets some high class ratings in terms of a horror, right? And like you're saying there, Epi, it's not so much gore; it's the suspense that there's built up through the film, right? So,
Yeah,
and I think I'm right in saying it's set in quite a nice time, right? It's a festival; everybody's meant to
yeah,
be
yeah.
joyful and stuff like that, right?
It's a lot of blonde people like frolicking in the summertime with like pagan rituals. It's like, hey, that looks like a pretty nice place to have a beer. No, it's not. You're gonna die.
The bear, dude. The bear can
Yeah,
never
the
look
bear.
safer
That
at
thing.
bears.
Cool.
Why?
All right, guys,
My question.
we've got. Go on, Jet. Sorry, mate.
My question is, why all of a sudden there's like a market for such genre in terms of films, even in books? Because one book I've read is from Clive Barker, and it was really, really, really scary. That I had difficulty finishing the book. It took me like probably 3 4 months to go through because the gore, that the way that I was imagining. My question is how why is there all of a sudden a niche or a genre or a market for such films and books and stories?
I think I don't know, man. I think when you see my opinion, I think if you
Hmm.
see stuff that's super miserable and just like you kind of like tend to contrast that against your life and you're like, man, I'm glad I'm going through some tough times, but I'm glad I'm not going through that crap. I'm good. Listen, I was late on rent for a couple of months. That's good. That's better than getting chased by the devil.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'll
it's,
take that too.
yeah.
Uh,
I was thinking of our fascination with death. Me, I'm a fan of true crime, and the reason why I love it because first, I'm not gonna do it. Second is that I just wanted to know the details, man. I wanted to know how bodies decompose or how they work or how the blood will spill out in case someone will slit my jugular vein. Yeah, that's how brutal. Yeah,
That's
that yeah. Maybe we're curious
I,
about
I,
death.
I
There's a
think this
crazy
is turning out
statistic.
to be a therapy session.
I know, dude. There's a crazy statistic by Netflix that said that the gender that watched the most like true crime stuff, like 70 or 75%, something really overwhelming, are female.
Female, yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
super
Isn't
into
it
like the Night
20?
Stalker, kind of like Ted Bundy tapes, kind
The
of
Yeah,
like
the bad thing
and
about
true
their
women
crime.
watching
age,
it, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and their
yeah.
age is from 24 to 35.
Yeah, that's
Oh
good.
no.
Crazy.
You're right in the
But
middle.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, the fascination with it, and some women fell in love with those kind of serial killers. Also, if you have noticed the news about Chris Watts, who the man who killed his family, a lot of women
Mm-hmm.
are sending him nudes in prison. So that's how crazy women are. First of
Well,
all, we wanted to reform everything. We want to see if that man could change, which is really toxic. So yeah, bad.
so that's what it is, right? Like, listen, I know you killed like 19 people and beheaded a few of them, but
Yeah.
I still find you
check
cute, man.
this
You're
out.
so
I think
cute.
we can still
What's
reintroduce you to
underneath this
society.
hoodie? And let's see if you can change.
Yeah,
I can
I
save
think
you.
we can
Yeah.
still
Madness.
reintroduce you to society. You
Yeah,
know.
I think the key line there, like Epi said, is "I can save you." Right? I can
yeah.
save you. I can save
Yeah.
you.
I
So,
The
just I know we're veering off topic, but Chris, like most guys I know are like the opposite. The minute a girl shows just a little bit of crazy, is like, damn,
I'm out of the door.
I'm out. I'm out. I sense some
Yeah.
I sense some
Uh-huh.
crazy in you, and I don't need to be around for that. I'm sorry. I'm out. And there's no like I'm gonna save you. There's no like I'm gonna
Yeah.
fight you. It's
Yeah.
all like,
I'm not
listen.
gonna
Bye.
I'm
Bye,
not gonna
Felicia.
wait for you to burn my clothes and call your friends, you know.
Yeah.
And
I'm,
that what makes women crazy about men. First of all, if you know the Little Red Riding Hood, we're attracted to the wolf. So we are trying to make sense out of the wolf that we will take care of it, thinking that it was our baby. And if the minute the guys will show this interest with us, we'll try to chase them. So that's how bad it is. So avoid this women,
Chris.
guys.
Really?
Avoid this women.
I
Chris, are
never
you
thought
okay
that way.
today?
Hmm? I'm okay, yeah. I was thinking of my paper in
I
literary
now
Were
I
criticism
you
about women about that.
were you
now
drinking before this podcast? Because
Good.
now
I'll
I
have
It's
what you're
standard.
having.
It's
now
standard.
I'm
I'll have some.
yeah. Now I'm appreciating the distance you're from Cavite and from Pasig.
I think.
But
I
I'm
think.
not
I know.
I'm not gonna kill guys, man. Seriously, I'm one of them. But yeah.
You see a wolf and you're like, I can change him. You can shave a little bit. Put on some nice like flat pleated pants, nice dress shoes. That wolf, he'll fit right in. I
I
think of a
think Jet
wolf.
Right.
Jet knows my dating history. I used to date a broke man and then I bought him guitars. So knowing that whoa, he'll be a rock star. He'll be the next Elvis Presley, guys. So yeah, so Jet was laughing. He knows my ex-boyfriend.
This is no longer Geekish Khan. This is therapy with Chris. I feel like we've kind of wandered into Dr. Phil territory. Oh, by the
We
way,
did.
did you know
We
Dr.
did.
Phil wrote? Have you ever seen Bull, the TV series Bull?
No.
No,
Oh,
no.
well, in that case, I won't continue the story because it's boring. But Dr. Phil,
I'm never gonna see that TV series. So if there's like spoiler alert, let's have it.
Well,
Hold on, let
the
me
only
get.
the only spoiler alert is that Dr. Phil wrote that based on his life before he got into TV. It's pretty decent, actually.
Oh,
Oh,
Pretty
all
decent.
right, all
All
right.
right.
All right. Okay.
nice.
Let's get back on track. We have had a
Mm-hmm.
few comments. DM is filling up our timeline. However, we have one here. Silent Hill, because that's a game I play in the
Yes,
PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah.
decent. Great video game.
Mm-hmm.
Decent movie. It was. There were some crazy scenes like outside the church, and it was visually really stunning. Really, really stunning
It's
visually.
what creeps me in Silent Hill, the video game, is the fog. So that
Yeah.
mist, that fog. I swear.
I thought the nurses.
It, at first, because the first thing that's going to hit you in the game is the fog, the mist right away.
Mm.
So if you're somewhere and it's dark and you're probably driving in Tagaytay and it's misty, no,
You
I'll
guys
be
are doing
blaring the loud
nothing
music.
for my sleep tonight. All I'm going to see is Freddy Krueger, fog. Honestly,
Well, you
I'm
can't
worried
even
now.
watch a trailer, like a trailer of a movie that's really scary.
Dude, I couldn't even watch Thriller, and I don't even stand a chance with a trailer. Right? There are some trailers where I go, oh no, I can't turn away, and I forget now. I remember going back, like the Blair Witch Project, right? I couldn't watch
Oh
that.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
That
yeah,
was good.
Dracula as well. You know the one with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that scared me
And that's
white.
that's a love story, by the way. That's
No, I know. Yeah, it's a great Dracula story itself. It's a
yeah,
great story, but
yeah. Gary Oldman in that movie was solid,
Yeah.
really solid
Mm-hmm.
playing Dracula.
Monica
no,
Great,
agreed.
great.
Bellucci, guys. Monica Bellucci, guys.
Monica
Don't forget her.
Bellucci.
Yes,
Where was Monica
she's one of the
Bellucci?
brides.
She's
She
one of
was
the
one of the
brides.
brides. Yeah.
Dude, Monica Bellucci's a lot of things, man. Damn.
And that's that's for a separate topic, Epi. As we are, it's only
Oh,
seven
that's
p.m.
right. This is
We
a
can't go
family
down
show.
that route.
What I meant was, damn, can she act? She's a
Damn,
really
can she?
great actress.
Although there is subject matter there for a future Geekish Khan episode. Right, Cricks, can you bring us back on track before we all spend the next 3 or 4 hours in therapy and getting on the
Sure.
physios, not physios, but the couch, and not that couch, Epi, not that couch.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay, Cricks, film number
Yeah,
3. What have you got for us?
drag me to hell. I know that Paul walked out from the cinema because of that. Yeah, it was an inside joke from you guys, but yeah, actually, there's a psychological story behind it. It's about bulimia. I know Sam
Mm-hmm.
Raimi does a lot of gore on his movies, especially on Evil Dead. But if you're gonna watch Drag Me to Hell, the main culprit there, or the one that scares the woman, is food or something like she would eat. So when you, it terrified me because when I was, or if you have noticed that, some pictures there, or there's a scene there where she killed the cat just to pass on the curse. Oh my god, I was like really terrified. And at the same time, I was afraid to be mean to other people because they might curse me. So whenever I see old women, I try to help them because they might say, oh, hey, you will be a forever bachelorette. Oh, no, I will probably take that curse. But but yeah, first of all, the eating disorder was there, and it's not in your face. If you have watched Life of Pi, it might be a good ending for you, but deep inside, he actually ate his mom. So it's the ending or interpretation that you have to look into it. So Alison Lohman really did a great job in Screaming, especially when she was taken by the or dragged into hell per se. But Yeah, that really terrified me, especially when the cake had an eye on it, and then she had to poke into it, and then blood will gush out. Oh, I love the blood
Uh,
gushing out of these scenes. I was like, oh man, it was satisfying. But yeah, at the same time, that was scary. That freaked me out. I'm not gonna eat a cake, but I'll order one probably later in Food Panda. Yeah.
I my stomach is doing jumps now. So yeah, Cricks, there's a story there. Epi on a Sunday, I was hungover, and Epi said, "Come on, we'll go and watch Drag Me to Hell," and I lasted maybe 5 minutes and then walked out.
It's a great
Oh
movie.
no. Great movie,
I'm,
Hilarious.
I'm sure,
amazing.
I'm sure, I'm sure it is a great movie, mate. I'm not denying that.
But it gets to a point where it's like it was so much jump scares and it really scared the hell out of you. Where you just like it's like it's just you just laugh. You just end up like this hilarious, man. This is like when you're in a roller coaster and it gets really scary. It's either you like really freak out or you just end up just laughing your butt off. But that's a great movie, by the way.
That's
Sam
Sam
Raimi
Raimi. Yeah, Sam
did a
Raimi.
solid job there.
Cool. All right, Jet the Geek, you're up, buddy.
my next would be Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh, old.
So
This is old school, right?
this is old school, yeah.
You're throwing it
This is
back
old
there, mate.
school. So
Oh,
we were in college, and then we were going through different films and what are like in different eras, and we were like studying film, and this came up, Night of the Living Dead, and so because this is what before all the prosthetics have been developed and all, and what the story is, so we dived into it, and I'm telling you, uh, when we watched it, we normally when we're watching, we will be drinking some San Miguel pale pilsen, and and it's pretty easy. We normally consume like probably 6 bottles throughout the movie, 6 bottles each. We were only able to consume 3 each, and then everybody left quietly. Everybody left quietly. Nobody was speaking to each other. It's like nobody wants to admit that they were scared, and only they only started talking about it the next day. It's like what messed them up was the and to think one of my friends, on his way home, he has to pass through a graveyard. So
oh no.
so he said he instead of going home, he went with one of my friends and slept over. So that's really that's one movie
Dude.
that I would recommend if you're going to dive into this horror genre. Watch one of those classic films, and you're going to enjoy it. And you're going
Right,
to see where the reference of the of all of the zombie movies came from. It will be there.
perfect. Thanks, Jet. Epi, Raft Builder, you're up next, buddy. Film number 3.
Um, Life of Pets 2. Just the complete lack of storyline and continuity was shameful. We previewed it earlier, but Midsummer is part of my list because
Okay.
I mean, to me, it has to be. It worked in so many fronts, and for all the same reasons that I shared earlier. Just the way it built up tension, and how many horror movies happen during the day, right? It's this thing. This thing was like broad, like daylight, and it was sunny with like plenty of good-looking blonde people. It's just not your typical horror material. And for that, I was like, yeah, this makes the list.
Nice. Excellent. So DM is posting some comments here. Horror film. I think Crix, this goes back to what you were talking about before. Horror film was the one that seeks to elicit fear in its audience for entertainment purposes. Basically, I just read that horror films are there to scare the out of you, and they do, right? And they do. And then DM's
Yeah.
mentioned something about Insidious. Now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I saw some posters for this, and I went, "There's no way I'm watching that." So Insidious up to the last chapter and the movie. Oh, was it a game before? Was it or a book? Sorry. Do we
I
know?
think it's a comic book before.
Ah, okay, perfect. And then we had this other comment. AJ, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. The most I watch horror movie is Halloween because they can't stop Michael to kill them. They can't kill him. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not watching that anytime soon. Right, okay. Film number 4, Crix.
Blair Witch Project. First of all,
What?
yeah, we're not talking about Blair Witch Project. Oh, sorry. Am I
Oh, the
on
Blair Witch. I thought you said
mute?
marriage project. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
Blair. Oh,
therapy
no, no,
session
no,
again,
no.
Crix?
Sorry.
No, no. Okay. All right, no.
Blair Witch Project, because first of all, it really scared me because compared to other American films that we are watching nowadays, they are relying on jump scares. And they had this trailer back then, or the posters in Recto, a place here in Manila. It's one painted on billboards. They say that it is based on true story, and then the real actor is supposed to be deceased or dead. So
Hmm.
that ingrained into my mind that, oh my god, it is so scary that I'm afraid to make a video or an amateur video, not of a different kind, but of a horror kind. But yeah, and when you see the close up of the female saying that she's really scared, and then her nostrils were like really flaring out, it's really scary. And at the same time, when you see the ending, it was surprising, but you'll have these questions on your mind that what happened to the stars or to the actors. So knowing that it was fake, we were duped. I was relieved, but at the same time, I was laughing at the parody in a scary movie where the shots were like the mucus was coming out of the woman's nose, and like something like that. So yeah, I was meme, but it's scary. But at the same time, I had this fascination with witches. So here in the Philippines, we have mangkukulams. I think my granny used to use tawas on some people, or if we're not feeling well. So yeah, the enigma of witchcraft was there. The idea that when I was like 8 years old, I was thinking, what happened to the actors? Did they really die? So yeah, Blair Witch Project with the nose.
I, I, I do remember from the trailer that snot coming out of the person's nose, right? That was my takeaway from that. Cool.
Like, I have two takeaways there from
Go on, buddy.
Crick's list. He mentioned a poster in Recto. Paul, I mean, when did you first come to Manila? 08, 09? About 08, 09?
Yeah, I joined Virgin. Yeah, oh 08. It must be 08, mate.
Yeah,
Hmm.
must,
Maybe or
must
even
have
oh
been like
07.
08, 09.
No, so 07. Yeah, because Darcy was 6 months. So yeah, 07.
14 years you've been. Anyway, up until recently in the Philippines, and Jet, I think you'll remember this. I don't know if Crix will remember this because she's a little bit younger. Before mass printing was available in the Philippines, you know how you get movie posters now? They're all like mass printed and they're all standard. They all come from the producer. They're all like issued by the studio. Dude, in the Philippines,
Yeah.
this is how we used to do it. We should
You
like
have to
Die
paint
Hard
it.
2, for example. They would paint that shit into a poster and just kind of
Yes.
like use their
They'll paint
imagination.
it in the
Like,
canvas.
this is
Yeah.
what I think
Yeah.
Yes.
Bruce Willis looks like. Boom! And so his
I
face would
remember
be
that.
different from one cinema to another cinema, especially the cheap cinemas, like back in like the old cities in Manila, like not in the malls. They would use painted like things on canvas
Mm.
as movie posters, like Die Hard 2, and then just like that's not Bruce Willis, man. That's like
That's,
that guy
that's
has too
like
much
Bruce.
hair.
That's like Bruce Willis post mortem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
dude. So
yeah, yeah.
that's how we used to roll
Madness.
in this country. We didn't
Yeah.
have mass printing till maybe like the late '90s or early 2000s. So we used to paint our shit, man. We used to like paint our stuff on posters. The second thing that I took away from what Crick said on Blair Witch Project, and she said like I think they're called mangkukulam in local folklore. But one thing that I remember my mom. You know what yayas are, right? You have a
Yeah, yeah,
yaya. They
yeah.
help raise you. And one of my yayas said, "Oh, back in the province, I used to be like a mangkukulam." It's like, and she scared the shit out of me. So I did every single thing that lady said. She's like, brush your teeth. Like, okay, let's do it. It's like, go to bed. Okay, I'm ready to go to bed. It's like, yeah. So if you get a yaya at any point, make sure she drops the words like, I used to be like a witch in the province. I'm gonna turn you into a chicken. Because I bought into that stuff. Totally bought into that stuff.
It's true.
There
That's it.
is
I'm gonna shut up.
there's an episode of Grimm. You ever watch Grimm, the TV
Mm.
series that's based on Grimm tales? There's an episode of Grimm where the villains or the creatures of the netherworld, shall we say, are Filipino creatures from folklore. There's
Yeah,
something.
that's. I'm going to
Go for
digress
it.
a little bit. Remember the book like American Gods? Like that whole premise was like all of these people brought like the monsters or the ghouls from whatever tradition they came from or for whatever ethnicity they came from. Like different ethnicities, different traditions. All of them had like a flying creature. We just all called it different.
Yeah.
And our version of the vampire was, I think, Manananggal, which is kind of like flying creature. The body would turn into half. They would leave their other body. This thing would only eat babies. And for some
Yeah.
reason, I'm still waiting for my first Manananggal to show up here at the Grove.
Don't wish it on yourself, mate.
I've been smoking cigars at the balcony, just winking. When this the day I'm gonna see a flying half woman with a long time. It's never happened. I don't think it's ever gonna happen for me.
Give it time.
We'll see.
Give it time. There's a comment that's related to that from DM is that yeah, some of our oldies would tell us a story, but I can't pronounce those words. My apologies.
Mambabarang.
There you go.
Mangkukulam in
Yeah.
Mambabarang.
Yeah.
Back in
Wow.
the day, also called like in the provinces when you would knock, especially like at certain times, like it's late at night, you would say "tao po," which is like a common introduction. "Tao po," which people over time thought that what they meant was like, "Hey, there's someone here," like go answer the door. But what it really meant when they like traced it back was like, people, like when they knock on other people's houses, it would be like, it's okay to let me in. I'm human. I'm not like one of those. So if you hear a knock on your door, and it's
Dude,
tao po,
And it's normally 3.
yeah,
don't.
Oh my god.
yeah, and they don't have like a thing here. That's like a dead giveaway.
Field room. Field room. They
Filter
don't
'em,
have
yeah.
the field room. Yeah,
Yeah.
field room. Yeah.
My
If,
mates,
if
my mates at college who knew I was scared of horror would say, "So, Paul, what would you do if you heard one of us knocking on the window?" Bear in mind, at the time I was on the second story floor, right, in the house. What would you do if at like 4 o'clock in the morning you heard us knocking on the window? I'm not going to sleep tonight.
I'm going to tell one more story because it just
Yeah,
reminds
please, man. That's what we're here for.
college. We lived in a 2-story apartment, and everyone would go to class. I think I came back, and it was like 4 in the afternoon, and so I went in, turned on the TV, and I was like, "Hey, is anybody home?" And then my housemate, his name was Dudes. He was like, "I'm home." I was like, "Hey, do you have a cigarette?" He was like, "No, I don't have a cigarette." It's like, "You're selfish." I was like, "Hey." So anyway, so I continued watching TV for maybe a couple of hours, and it was getting dark, and then the door opened in the living room. Dudes walks in and says,
Oh, happy man.
Dude walks in and says, it was like, how long have you been here? I ran out of the house, dude.
No.
I didn't even check upstairs. It was messed up. Now, I might have been drinking a little bit, so I don't know if I imagined half of it or if it really happened, but it scared the bejesus. I had a conversation, and it was Dudes. I asked for a cigarette, and he said he didn't have any. And a couple
No.
hours later, he walks to the door. it was bad, man.
You're messing with my head. We should not have done this as a topic. I'm not sleeping for the next 3 weeks. Right. Jet the Geek, mate. Film number 4.
Film number 4 will be The Shining.
Oh,
Boom,
Red Rum.
boom. Boom,
boom,
right there.
for
Red
sure.
Rum.
Kubrick just messed everybody up, a lot of people up, from
Yeah,
all three us brothers. I'm telling you, first I watched it in installments, The Shining. Not I watched first part when I was young, the second part when I was in college, and the third part when I was already working. That's how scary it is. I couldn't sit through it. I could not sit through it, especially the twins, the
yeah,
blood in the corridor.
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of symbolism in that movie, man.
yeah.
Madness.
Capre, Manananggal, Nuno,
Nuno.
creature that Arlola said they will get us. Yeah, dude. They a lot of old people just used to say that to kids for them to behave.
All we got in the UK was the boogeyman. The boogeyman's going to get you. All right, thanks.
That's it.
Cheers.
That's all you
That's
got.
That's it.
That's
He
all we
That's so
got.
had.
You
boring.
have a lot
That's
of
all we got.
ghosts there in the UK, man.
We have
Seriously, I was reading a lot of books about that.
Actually, where I'm from in North Wales, Llandudno, there's a town next to it called Conway, and they do I don't know if it's a nightly. Well, it won't be anymore because of COVID, but they used to do a nightly ghost tour because Conway's a walled city from medieval times, right, where they built a wall around it. So there's a lot of stories there about ghosts still haunting the inner and the outer walls there, and they've got a castle too. So yeah, there we go, man. Okay. Epi, film number 4, mate. DM has said here, nowadays, I can't pronounce that, are the Moralco, because they will cut your electricity if you do not pay your bill.
Funny. Yeah. Manananggal means literally like takes off. So yeah, she
to remove.
DM's
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Cool.
Fourth film,
All right, go for
The
it, buddy.
Village, M Night. I'm an M Night
Mm-hmm.
fan. I loved Sixth Sense. The Village was, spoiler alert, right? It's one of the best twists. Because this whole movie, you're conditioned to believe it's a horror movie, and then just the twist at the end, just like, damn, that just blew my mind. You should watch it. I don't know if you've seen it, Paul.
I've seen it. I've seen it. It's on my list. I've crossed it off my list, but yeah, I've seen it. But you're right. It's a great twist towards the. It's a brilliant twist. Absolutely, because you don't see it coming, right?
Never saw it coming.
It is literally
Never
one of
saw
those, it takes your breath away moments. Good shout, man. Good shout. Perfect. Cool. All right then, Crix. 5th and final film.
It's gonna be a tie between The Ring and then The Grudge. I know we Asians really are proud of our ghost stories and all. And if you're going to watch The Grudge, you have to be prepared of the sound. Because that's the sound of the ghost. And then when you see the little guy running around.
I've made some women make that noise in my past. And
that's a different one.
You're a
That's
brave
what I'm
man.
saying.
That's what that they were enjoying.
You're a brave man, Paul.
I know, right?
Bringing that up.
Paul, take note. We can fake it.
You're a brave man.
We're not
We
going
can
down
fake
that
it.
route. We're not going
We
down
fake
that
it. But yeah, the sound
Well,
of that.
Critics, we can always pretend we like you.
Boom.
Oh,
We can always say that it was good. Oh no, let's not go to that route. Oh my god, it's a kid-friendly show.
There's this phrase in the UK that says, I've had a few moans, but never any complaints. There you go.
But yeah, kidding aside, that we Asian people love the sounds, yeah, compared to Japanese porn and all. But yeah, mhm. The Ring was really
Okay, go
scary
ahead.
because because of the it was actually a Japanese folklore that when someone killed herself because she was accused of getting the plates. She threw herself out of the well, and then she is cursing the samurai just to blame her, or because he is blaming her for stealing the plate. So that's the Okiku Ona. I forgot the name, but yeah. And at the same time, the reason why I really, or the ring really terrified me, because of the ring, the ring of the phone. After watching that videotape, you'll have the 7 days, and then you were like, oh my god, this is so creepy. You might think, what if that happens to me? But that is not possible right now because we have our Facebook, we have our social feeds. I can just embed it to any social media site saying that, hey, this is, just click this link, you'll win 5,000 pesos from Willie Revillame. And you'll say, congratulations, you're cursed. So yeah, that's really scary. And at the same time, it's from the book, it's kind of different because it becomes, first of all, it's going to be horror, then psychological, then philosophical, and then at the end of the book you will realize, spoiler alert, that the ring is just a simulation. So it kind of killed the horror part. So there, the ring and then the grudge. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I couldn't even. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, let's not talk about the ring. That ring scared me senseless. just the trailer and the tease and the poster for it. Yeah, I'm not having that. Right. Fifth and final, Jet the Geek.
Well, I'm gonna go with Greeks too. It's the ring, and that's one in my
Oh.
list. In fact, I prefer the Asian horror films compared to the Hollywood ones because
Ah.
it's more scarier. It really gets into your head. It gets into your psyche. Just entering the shower, you're
The
going.
hands.
Yeah, the hands when you're uh, putting on shampoo, you're washing your hair. You just don't want to close your eyes because there might be hands in there, or there's somebody up in the ceiling that's going to come down. So
Yeah.
that's if Paul, if you're going to watch any more, if you decide to watch any horror films, go with the Asian ones. It's a lot more scary than the Hollywood
I've,
films.
Yeah. We
I've got to
should.
say, guys, you're not kind of increasing my want to watch the horror films. It's right. It's not like after this, the first thing we're going to do is watch The Ring. I'm not having that. But I appreciate the effort. We have another comment here. Try to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark on your own. You can't sleep and you can't go to the bathroom by your own. So
Well,
I'm not going
that's just
That's
bad
for
hygiene.
kids.
That's just, you can't shower after you pee yourself. That's just, is the ghost gonna get me, or is bad hygiene gonna get me?
to.
Or you'll get UTI because you're trying
Yeah,
to stop the pee. Ah, you get sick, man.
kidney
Yeah.
infection or Satan? Come on.
Come on.
Life choices.
Life choices. Perfect. Cool. Thanks, Jet. Right, Raft Builder, your last one, buddy. Which one
My
is
last
it?
one. I don't even think it's a horror film. I don't. It's not. But it did a number on me. I was raised in a Catholic household, so part of the whole thing was guilt and a lot of symbolism. So I saw a movie, and the title was Stigmata.
Oh
And
yeah.
Ah, is
yeah,
that
Mm.
Patricia Arquette? It's an
yeah,
Arquette.
it had
Yeah.
Patricia Arquette, Gabriel
Yeah.
Byrne.
Gabriel
Mhm.
Byrne.
Who,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this was right after he played Kaiser Soze in Usual Suspects.
Oh,
So you
man.
still kind of saw him as Kaiser Soze, and
That's a great shout.
Yeah.
the score of the movie was done by Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh.
so
Ooh,
a lot of ethereal
nice.
guitar. So
Yeah.
it's just like, I think score and sound in a film is so critical. If you remember The Social Network, that
Yeah.
thing was
Yes.
scored by Trent Reznor from Nine Inch
Oh,
Nails.
yeah,
Nine
yeah,
Inch
yeah.
Nails.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
driving beats. That's just yeah. So it's when I saw that movie, I didn't know that Billy Corgan scored that movie, and he wrote some of the music for that movie. And I found out many years later, and I was just like, and then when I made that connection, I was like, man, that's why I love that movie, and that's
Mhm.
why that movie was creepy, and that led
I
me to
think.
reading.
Yeah. Sorry.
Good.
Go on.
No, that's all right, man.
I think that was the days that Billy Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins were in the Ava Adore
Yeah,
stage, that
yeah,
album, where he was dressed like
exactly,
Nosferatu.
exactly. Yeah, this would have been like 98, 99. You
Mhm.
know, Jimmy Chamberlain just almost left the band because of
Yeah.
like the drug things, and so they were
Mhm.
working with a drum machine. So that album, Ava Adore, there was a lot of like loopy beats.
Mhm.
So yeah, dude, Stigmata. If you get a chance, it's hard to find a copy because it's so old and it wasn't really a
I
super
think that
famous
was in the
movie.
90s. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
late
watch it when I was younger. Yeah, but yeah. I'm afraid of Billy Corgan. When you mentioned Billy Corgan, I said back then. I think that was in 2016. I said, Jet, I'm really scared of Billy Corgan. I really can't handle his bald head looking at me, especially when he's. Yeah, I was like, oh no. But I do love these songs, and
yeah.
I did read on Blender that Today is not actually a song for suicide. So yeah, good, good choice. Yeah.
A trivia for Epi. There's also one film, I can't remember the film, but it's a gangster film, like L.A. riot gangster film. Billy Corgan scored that. There's a lot of hip hop beats in rap, and you'll be surprised that when you see the credits, theme was scored by Billy Corgan.
That's
I'll
crazy.
try to find. I'll try to find it and send
Yeah,
it to you.
yeah.
Epi, I knew you were a big Smashing Pumpkins fan, mate, but I don't think I realised up until this point to the extent that you're such a big fan.
I I
You know
am
what I mean?
like like one day we're gonna do like a top five albums of all time.
Yes.
We should. We have
Yes,
to.
absolutely.
And I'm gonna take you down my rabbit hole on why I love Siamese Dream. I still listen to it,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
that's also a good film.
cry. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry, man. Number one is "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears. Oh my
well,
god, just kidding.
Briggs, get off.
Yeah,
Get off, Briggs.
no, just kidding. Just kidding. I'm gonna surprise you with some obscure bands. You know.
I,
Yeah.
I reckon if you surprise me or Epi when it comes to secure obscure bands, I'll give you a prize. Because
I will
Oh no
eat
no no no! I don't
Chris.
want.
I will eat a sock. I
yes,
will
No no
eat this 2-day-old sock.
and then
no.
after Epi's regurgitated that sock, I'll eat it. There you go.
Man, I was listening to Sex Bomb Girls earlier. Don't drag me like that, guys. But
Okay.
yeah, but I do have, yeah. I think Jet really led me the way back then when I was in a rut for music. I was listening to a lot of pop music, and then he recommended, you know, forgot never mind. But yeah, I've been listening to Beastie Boys earlier. So
Beastie
yeah,
Boys.
I
Cool.
he
recommended Smashing Pumpkins to her
it's
too.
Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, yeah, Smashing
Mm.
I
Pumpkins.
need
Yeah.
I, I
Awesome.
need to I need to invest some time in the Smashing Pumpkins to be honest, because Epi's taste in music is normally bang on, and that's the one band I've
And
not
and
really
Billy
invested
Corgan's
in.
lyrics, and when he wrote this, the all the albums, so the lyrics, he wrote it like when he was like 21 years old, and he was very mature or advanced for his age to write
Mhm.
such lyrics.
Perfect.
Yeah, we got to do a top five at some point on music or
Mhm.
Or
Well, I
music
think
Yeah.
videos if you want. Yeah.
music videos. I haven't seen a music video in a long time. I'm that
yeah, I
Um.
old.
think
I didn't even know they still made it.
Well,
The
I
last.
know Paul will recommend Thriller.
perfect. I think guys, this has been wonderful. Slightly longer than we normally go, but I think it's been completely worthwhile. There's one film that's on my list that I'm surprised you guys haven't called out.
Mm.
The Sound of
All right.
Music.
Hey, I love the sound of
Some people
music.
do say that's a horror, right? Anyway, I'll give you a clue. Stephen King,
Is it it?
the original
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
with
yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh my
original. Yeah,
god.
yeah, the original. Yeah.
with Tim Curry.
Yeah,
You'll
Tim
not.
Curry
Yeah. But
Oh my god.
he's much more he's much more creepy on Rocky Horror Picture Show though. But I love that film.
Tim Curry in
It's
that
just,
tour, man.
oh, and then the come to the light, come to
Yeah.
the light. No,
Yeah.
That guy took a part of my childhood I'll never be able to get back. I can't
same.
believe he did that. Yeah, it. That was.
Are you
Yeah.
afraid of clowns then?
I'm no, actually, I'm good with clowns. What I liked about, and I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed it because it's psychological stuff. I'm okay with. It's when it's gore and when it's horror that's the bit that I struggle with. But psychological kind of suspense, I'm okay with. But yeah, it remains to this day one of my favorite films. I think it's a fantastic film, well written, well directed, just and all the characters is on point. Because I forget the name, but the lead character was John Boy from the Watsons, right, or Waltons, right?
Mm.
And of course, you associate him with being so American, boy next door. And
Hmm.
then just to see him being pulled, come to the light, right?
Yeah.
Messes with your head, man. Messes with your head.
Whew, that's
Seriously.
a good one to leave. To
I
leave.
know.
Our
It's
audience
a good
with.
one to finish. All right, guys, listen, fantastic show. Have we got any suggestions for next week? Raft Builder. Anything you want to discuss with the team
I
next week,
will
little guys?
I'll defer to you guys. I suggested this week. Yeah, I'll defer to you guys.
All right, well, let's go to Jet. Jet, what do you want to do next week, mate?
So, since we're in the line of films, I'd like to know what are the 3 films that inspired you,
Yes.
that
Nice.
messed you up, and what blew your mind. So those 3 films.
Can I have
Memento.
can I have
Just
Thriller
kidding.
for all three? Can I have Thriller for all three of those? No.
I was just gonna say that might just be like one film for me. Fast and the Furious 8. Don't you
Quick,
ever ask yourself how long are you gonna keep this up? Just
just let it go.
film 2 or
It's
3.
ridiculous.
All right, it's gotten to a point where, first of all, they're out of stupid lines,
If we
and
don't have Paul Walker anymore, I don't know, man.
It's
Paul
like,
Walker, you
Yeah.
gotta cut that thing down.
it has nothing to do with cars now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
For family.
Well, my familia, right?
My familia.
Crix's call there about Memento. That's a great shout because if you
Mhm.
haven't seen that film, that's a
Oh my
brilliant
god.
film. Brilliant
What
film.
I did was during the
Crix,
quarantine, I
don't do
watched
it.
that
Okay.
Memento, and then I watched Tenet, and then Christopher Nolan will really mess up your mind. But
I've
my
got to
top
watch
Oh
number,
yeah.
Tenet again. I've got to
Mhm.
watch Tenet
yeah,
again.
yeah, you
Cool.
have to watch it. Good film.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so three films that inspired us, that messed us up, and what was the third category, Jack? Sorry, mate.
That blew your mind. That you didn't
Super bad.
expect that. Yeah, that you were expecting something else, and then it did a 360 on you.
Oh, The Matrix. Anyway.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
For sure. Hey, no one steal RoboCop 4 because I'm doing a review on RoboCop 4.
I thought, Raft Builder, I thought you were going to go with Life of Pets too. No.
Or Iron,
Oh,
like these straight to video didn't even make
B
it.
movies. Yeah.
Although there's a film there that bucks the trend, and that's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, because that did go
Mhm.
straight to video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a great film. That's a great film.
Waterworld didn't do well in the United States and went straight to video, and it did well in video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hey,
But it did well here in the Philippines, though.
I don't get it. I don't get Waterworld. I'm sorry.
another one. Paul and I saw this Echelon Conspiracy.
Oh no, I don't know that.
This is a D movie. These guys didn't even have money to buy a set. They had like.
I'm gonna Google that after this. I'm gonna Google that because I'm planning to watch Stargate later because I really love that movie, and then Super Bad. No one will get Super Bad from me because I know the lines. It was like, "No, you're cock blocking McLovin." I was like really into it.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to watch that.
Echelon Conspiracy. It's 2 hours of your life you're never getting back. Happy no.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to watch it anymore. No.
It's friggin' awful. And it had Edward Norton in it, so I thought it was going to be decent. But
It was just terrible.
anyway, it was awful. It was awful. All right, guys, listen. Thank you so much for your time. Audience members, really appreciate you guys being out there. Thank you so much for the comments, the love, and support. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't. Well, we would be here because of our mum and dads, but we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the support and stuff. So thank you
Good
very
show,
much.
guys.
Yeah, please keep it coming. We will say adieu, goodbye, whatever, and I don't know. Keep watching those scary films, I guess. Anyway, take care, everybody.
Salamat. Say salamat
Salamat.
po.
Salamat.
Look behind your
Salamat po.
back.
Hey,
Look
Paul.
behind your back, Paul. Someone's at your back, Paul.
Stop it.